So you got to log into ChatGPT or another AI and you feel like, man, I'm glad I didn't go to law school. I can do all the research right here like this. Well, unfortunately, this did not end well and is not ending well for a few lawyers with decades of experience who relied on OpenAI, Google GPT, when they submitted a legal brief to a federal judge. The only problem? The cases they cited, the quotes that they contained, and the law in general didn't exist. That's right. According to the articles, according to the attorneys, everything here, Google GPT made it up. And those attorneys are now facing sanctions against their bar license. Guys, let's get into it. So the case is not directly Second Amendment related, but of course there are lots of Second Amendment issues tied into this. Why? Because obviously everybody likes to be an armchair attorney, an armchair doctor, an armchair accountant, an armchair whatever, by Googling things up, by looking things up online, and it's only natural. I'm by no means condemning that. People want to take important steps to educate themselves and so forth. But just remember, of course, as my wife, who's an ER physician, likes to remind me, that Google is no replacement for her medical degree or decades plus in practice. And hopefully she doesn't watch this video because she's actually right. But this also, of course, impacts the legal profession as well. The case that we're talking about here is an aviation case. It's basically a plaintiff case, and really quickly came out of a federal court in Manhattan where this gentleman was basically riding on airlines, and he said that he was injured when the metal serving cart struck his knee during a flight into Kennedy International Airport. He sued. The airlines basically said, look, we're going to file to get this thing dismissed. Judge asked for briefing. That's when the gentleman's attorneys, so the plaintiff attorneys who were suing, filed a 10-page legal brief that cited all sorts of convenient and great sounding case law, as well as a whole bunch of quotes. The only problem? None of it existed. Now, the judge, once everybody figured out what had happened here, is basically saying, look, you guys, you attorneys, you should have known better. You need to basically double check your work. Measure twice, cut once, as they say in carpentry and construction. The same thing, of course, ought to apply in law as elsewhere, but we're going to find out what's going to happen to their law licenses because the judge is basically grilling them for whether or not I should sanction you, which is basically could be fines, could be a bunch of things. At a minimum, this whole thing has been tremendously embarrassing for them. But let's bring this back to the Second Amendment. We need to be careful. We've got some other videos coming up that's going to be talking about inaccurate statistics, misquotes, and also other kind of stuff that a bunch of anti-self-defense advocates, i.e. gun grabbers, keep trotting around out there, including some huge ones that I promise all of you down the lens have seen. So stay tuned for that video. We cannot necessarily trust these AIs. And no, that's not saying that we're in a Skynet environment and we should be paranoid and all this other kind of stuff. Although I think there's plenty of arguments for the fact that maybe we should be paranoid and we are running towards a Skynet environment. But my point is that these chat features, these chatbots, fooled some very successful, seasoned attorneys into thinking that this was good law, and it wasn't. So if you or your friends are inclined to be using these chatbots, whether it's for law or frankly, how to build a house or how to do whatever else, measure twice, cut once. Trust, maybe, but verify, definitely. Otherwise, you could be on the front page of the New York Times and some of the other publications here that have been running, and you can see those links in the description box below that cover this story, that have been running out and covering the fact that, look, why is the AI chatbot making things up? So guys, again, I'm not trying to make hay out of this other than the fact of this is another sobering reminder that you need to make sure that you understand what you're doing. You need to make sure that you understand how to do proper research. And at least for the time being and for the foreseeable future, AI is not going to be replacing those of you in many different professions. I feel a little safer as an attorney right now, but also again, be sure to do your own research all the time. Don't trust something just because it's quoted and it looks authoritative or something else or something like that. And of course, especially things on the internet other than this channel, of course. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by clicking like, gets out the information in the Google algorithm, and of course, comment up below. If you want me to follow up and keep following what's going on with all these AI chatbots and the impact potentially it can have at the Second Amendment and other ranges as far as culture and society go. Thank you for sticking around this long, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. If you enjoyed this one, please feel free to check out some of our other great content, and we'll see you in the next one.